Okay, so now we're ready to tackle this mystic urn puzzle over here. So the thing about it, I mean, it's pretty well jumbled and scrambled. So the first step in this is to get it back into its native shape. Now, just because I've gone through the algorithms and I have something of a mindset on how I can move pieces around doesn't mean I'm going to know what to do about parity. Because this is really sort of the chaotic start of the puzzle. This represents chaos, because when I put this back into its native shape, that looks a little like an urn, I guess, you may have pieces that will not respond to the algorithms. They'll be taken out of sync. So the first step is, what can I move? Right now I'm so jumbled that I don't seem to be able to move anything. Okay, so I can move this. Now I want to line this up. Oh, and no, I can't quite move this. So this is the only thing that I can move. So let's line this up to its true center. Here's a true top, actually, and I guess a true bottom would be here somewhere. So right here, I'm going to line this up here, and that opens this up to move. And that opens up, okay, I have pretty much what I want here. Can I rotate these? Down, down, up, up. Okay, so I've got a side over here. Now let's see, I'm going to move this into here. This needs to move up here. Let's see, this can go here. So now I can free things up. Move this to here and down. So we're good over here, and we're almost there. We just have this that's out of place. This doesn't want to move here. So I'm just going to do exchange here, here, and here, and okay. So we're closer. These are sticking out, but I know an algorithm to flip these. If I do my down, down, up, up, these will both flip and this will slide over here. So we've got down, down, up, up. Okay, so we have it back into its urn shape. So now we're going to do the next step, which I think is going to align the puzzle, putting these corners in and aligning it with this. Now I don't know what's the top and what's the bottom, and because of this shape here, there is a specific top and bottom. I just don't know what it is, so we're going to have to discover that. So I might as well start off with this, because this is lined up. So let's find the other blue and bring it here. The other blue of the similar shade is at this guy here, and it must be it looks like this. Okay, so this is on the wrong side. This needs to be brought to here. And I can do the algorithm which will shift this to here, this to here, and this to here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. As I recall, we move this up, we move this here into this position. We rev this engine like that. We wind the key, and we go turn, turn, turn. This clicks into place over here. So you're always dealing with jumbling. And you're dealing with a configuration that'll get you out of the jumbling. This turns here, down, and across. Okay, so that brings it up to here, and now we just do some damage control. Turn, and turn, pop this over here, turn. Now all of this we worked out before, so now this is where it needs to be. I don't need to do the algorithm again, I already have this here. If I do that same algorithm here, this will flip to this point over here. So 2R, 2F, 2L. We turn the key here, and then 2R, 2F, 2L. So now these two are where they need to be, and this is floated where it needs to be over here. So I know the orange comes next, and the orange is over here. So I want to move this orange up to here. It's going to take this out if I do that. So a better way is, why don't we move this into this configuration over here. I'm just going to slide this over to here. So these algorithms just are guiding me how to move these places around. Move these pieces around the puzzle to position them to where I want it. Okay, so this will go here, this will go here, and this will go here. So this will bring this up here. If I move this up, bring it up to here, so now it's up here. 2L, 2F. Oh, forgot to rev the engine here. And here, turn the key, 2L, 2F, 2R. Turn this key back and down. This places this yellow one back, but now we have to let's see. Right, okay. 2L, 2F, 2R, turn the key, turn, turn, and turn. Okay, so now to move this into here, I'm just going to put it to here so that these two will swap. This will go here, and this will go here, and these two will swap likewise, but at least this orange will be where it needs to be. So turn, 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 pop it to here, turn, turn, and turn. Okay, so as you can see, these are all in. Now you see this yellow one is not in, so I might as well put that in. That's over here. I'm going to coordinate a 3 cycle between these three as I worked out. So this will come up to here. I got to do this without shape shifting by the end, so this will come over to here. Oop, here. So now these three are in a nice position to 3 cycle. So we'll go up, across, and down. So now all I have to do is just move these back into place so they're not shape shifted. And lo and behold, this is now in. Okay, next is pink. So where is the pink? Is that once again? Yeah, once again down here. So this needs to move into this position. But I don't want to go here to here, here to here, here to here. I'd rather not touch this over here. So let's take this and move him down over here. And I know how to do that. To R, to F, to L. We turn the key. To R, to F, to L. Predictably moves the pink over here. So now I can move this to here. Unfortunately, it's gonna swap this down to here. I don't want to do that. So what if I moved it again to here? And turn. I'm also showing you just how well this puzzle moves. It's like effortless. Okay, so now this will go here, this will go here, this will go here. So move this up and across, rev our engine, then turn, turn, oop. What have I done? Okay, got myself a little lost there, got a little too enthusiastic. So let's try this again. This algorithm works where I bring this up to here and this is up to here. I then turn this. I move it from here. So to L, to F, to R. We turn our key this way, which will unlock this move here, to L, to F, to R. We turn the lock once again, and this comes down. And now we bring back what we took in. Turn, turn, just kind of retracing our steps. Turn our lock. Turn, turn, and turn. Okay, my goal was to move this into place. Now the thing is, if I move it here, this is going to be taken out. So I have to stick with my algorithm to move this to here, and this to here. Otherwise I'm going to affect other pieces that I don't want to affect. So once again, do this to have the predictable effect that I'm looking for. Turn. So far I feel like I'm making short work of this, but let's see. And bang. So far the puzzle has not popped either. Turn. And by the end of this move, I should have my pinks in place. Turn the key. Turn and turn. Okay, so here's what we have. In place, good, in place, good, in place. Got to get the pink one in. And now we just have the green one to put in. Okay, where's the other light green? Right over here. Where do you want to go? You want to go over here. So, yeah, okay, should we put the pink one? Yeah, let's put the pink one in. It's right here, so we're going to put this in 3 cycle position. Turn, 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 turn. I'm just 3 cycling these. Now that they were in 3 cycle position, so now this pink is in. Green, you can see this green will move over to here, but let's get our green here. This wants to move to here. Let's just get it into a better place that's closer to where we want it. I'm not doing anything different than what I was doing before. This is the same algorithm. Okay, so this green needs to move up to here. However, I can't do that without taking these guys out. So if I move it here, this will go here, this will go here, this will go here, right? So why don't I take this and move this to here? I can do that by doing my shifting algorithm here. That way one turn of the other algorithm will get it where it needs to be. And then I can focus on the last layer and everything should move in unless there is this magical thing called parity. Okay, where'd it go? So the way that this is going to work, oh yeah, okay, so this will go here, and this will go here with this algorithm. So this will move up and turn the key here so that I can do these other moves, otherwise I will be jumbled. Again, jumbling is a phenomenon of certain twisty puzzles where certain moves are blocked if I don't move other moves out of the way. And down. Okay, so we're doing well. We've got these here. This green needs to come into here, so why don't we make that happen? Move this to here, move this to here, and then we'll go turn, 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 move this in and move this back. Okay, so you can see these are all fine. I need one more blue, light blue and light purple, and that is right here. So if I do it opposite, this will go here, this will go here, this will go here, and these edge pieces here will be placed. So up and across. Turn our key here, and I'm going to go 2R, 2F, 2L, turn the key to here, 2R, 2F, 2L, turn this key back, bring it in, and done. Okay, so just to reiterate, we've got these corners are in, they line up with the center, these are in, they line with this, pink to pink, green to green, and these are in, but these guys aren't matched. So this is a little unexpected. These two have to be flipped, and I don't know of a way of doing two flips. So the question is, how did this happen? I could start working on this bottom part and put these edges in, but I find that I can't until this is sorted out. So if I were to try to flip these, I'd put it into this position, but these three will be flipped. They'll be swapped. So how did this happen? Well, let's think about this. I can't do, according to the parity of the puzzle, I can't do an odd number of swaps. I have to do an even number of swaps. So if I swap these two, I gotta swap two others. Or I can do a 3 cycle where 3 move. This doesn't have any of those criteria. 2 are gonna move and it's a single swap. So what else can be swapped? And there really isn't. So the only thing that I can think, having encountered things like this before, is that, well, there is a piece. There are 2 pieces that can be swapped, to be honest with you. And these are those hidden pieces. This hidden piece over here, and this hidden piece over here. So what that means is that my top is really my bottom, and my bottom is my top. That's what I suspect. Let me angle this down here. There we go. So my top is my bottom, and my bottom is my top, which means that rather than thinking in terms of swapping these two, maybe the whole thing had to be swapping these two and these two. Keep these exactly where they are correct, which means these two can swap and these two can swap. That leaves 4 things that need to be swapped. So that's one clue that this is actually in the correct configuration and all the rest are not. In that these actually belong on the bottom side. So my suspicion is if I transpose all of these to the bottom, then I'll be able to do some swapping with the 4 and that should work. And the reason why this happened is it's kind of a parity, almost like a 4x4 reduction parity, although this wasn't really reduced, but we have equivalent pieces or false equivalents. So this is really more a fallacy of false equivocation than parity. So let's see if that works. So we're going to say that these guys that are lined up with these edges here are incorrect. These two are correct. So I'm going to turn this upside down and start moving these things in one by one where they're supposed to be. So starting off with, I guess, blue, this will go here, this will go here, and this will go here. So we're going to move this up. So move this to here and to here. Turn the key, and we'll go turn, 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 turn the key here, and now as sure as I am of this, it's still just a theory and might not be correct. That's the surprising thing about doing a solve, is even after you do it, you might not quite be where you think you are. Because parity can be very unpredictable, especially when you're going from a jumbled state to a state where you return back to the native shape. And here, okay, where is it? So right over here, so let's go ahead and move this again in position. By doing this algorithm again, it'll flip it to here. Turn the key, and turn. So this is the exciting part of the scramble, something unexpected, not completely unexpected. I did sense that there's some trouble with the equivalency of this middle piece. So this is in. Now let's put this one up here. So now that's in. Let's rev it and get things back into its native shape by these algorithms. And turn, turn, turn. Forgot to rev it, and this goes here. And we turn this to get it back. Turn the key and turn, turn, and turn. Okay, so we're well on our way to getting it into what we think might be the correct configuration. So this is now our new position. We got to find the other purple, and the other purple should be down here, and it's here. So let's move it in this position. This will go here, this will go here, and this will go here. So once again, using our knowledge of how these algorithms work, 2R, 2F, 2L, turn the key, 2R, 2F, 2L. Turn this key, and this goes back. Okay. So we see that this is not in. Now I also know that because this purple one's in, this should be the yellow side. Okay, so now we need the blue. I'm going to ignore this, and I'm going to find the other light blue, which is this guy over here. So if I do it from this perspective, it shouldn't take too long to do this damage control because things are sort of already set up. This revs the engine here, turn, turn, turn. He really designed an incredibly stable puzzle. For something that's three-dimensionally printed, there's no popping. And this is here. Okay, so now this is in. Now I need the orange, which is here. Okay, to get the orange one in the way that we did that, let's go ahead and move that one over to here. Turn, turn, and turn. Turn the key. Turn, turn, turn. To truly say you have mastery over a puzzle, you have to figure out all the parities too. So this will go here, this will go here, and this will go here. So rather than that, why don't we do it from here? That way it'll move it right in. Haha! So go here, turn the key here, and then we move this back. Turn, 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 and turn. Turn this key, bring this in. As you can see, this is now in here. We need the pink one, and the pink one is here. If we do it from this perspective, it'll plop this into here, which is what we want. I find that the algorithm is now going into muscle memory, where the more you practice something, the more it becomes second nature, which does make it go by quicker. Turn, turn, and turn. Okay, the pink one's in. Okay, so now the moment of truth. These have all been transposed from here to here, and we will let these be our guide. So now we're going to put, we need the turquoise one, which is all the way down here. So let's take this and move it all the way to this area here to do our 3-cycle. Up, turn, down. And now we're going to double turn this to get this back into position. And that's in. Now we need the orange to go here. So let's put this into our 3-cycle position. Turn, 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 turn. Not in yet. Do it again. Turn and turn. Now you can see it's in. And aha! So it actually worked. Notice that all these edges and all these, I guess, corner edges or something, they're all lined up so that's fine. So that parity was taken out. whether we want to call that parity or the false equivocation of two pieces that appear to be equivalent, but these are pieces that participate in the solve even though you can't see it. But because you can't see it, it can cause that. So we should be good. Now that we have all this, we simply turn it upside down. This is almost like a domino effect, where now we're going to do this side here. I can see these are in because they're lined up. These are in because they're lined up. And this is in. Okay. Now what I would have preferred seeing is just one corner in and these two being out. Because if they're out, the algorithm would have flipped this to here and this to here and everything would be fine. We actually have ourselves a problem. Can you see what the problem is? These are in and these are in. So I don't have an algorithm for that, and here's why. All of these are fine, and this one is actually fine. Notice how it's lined up with this color here? These two need to be swapped. So where does that parity come from? Because I don't have a way to swap these two. Remember how I said that you can't swap just one pair? You can't do a single swap? Well, what is the deal with this? Why did this happen? So this is just one swap. I can't swap these two without swapping another. As a matter of fact, doing two swaps is what the algorithm that I have does. So where did this come from? And how do I do this? We could potentially set it up to where, just to sort of demonstrate what's happening here, I can take this and move this to here. This will move to here and this will move to here. Let me do that because this will further demonstrate what's happening. Because if I put this in here, this will all be in except one. So let's see what happens. Maybe I'm over analyzing this. Although I don't know how I can be, but let's see. Over here. So turn, turn, turn. I mean, I recognize there's a problem, but I also recognize that maybe I'm looking at it wrong. And maybe it's really not a problem. Put this here. Turn and down. Okay, we get this back, turn. Now if my unfortunate prediction is correct, you're going to see that the top one and the bottom one both need to be swapped. Okay, so on the surface this might look really nice. Look, these are all in red, red, orange, orange, red and orange. Blue, blue, light blue, light blue, blue and light blue. Purple, purple, light purple, so we're good, and yeah. So notice all these are in. The only problem, if you look closely, these two need to be swapped. This green and blue belongs next to these guys, and this blue and green here belong next to these guys. So you got light blue, light green rather, and light blue, and that's where these have to be. That's where this one has to be. We've got dark blue and dark green, and that's where this has to be. All these are fine, so we have to swap these two. So where did this come from? That is a dilemma. That is not something that just analysis of the algorithms would have guided me. So this isn't because of a top and bottom parity. I could predict that to be the case because of these two, because I can recognize that swapping these two as opposed to just this pair over here, two pairs, could work. No, this parity is much deeper. This parity was forged within the fires of jumbling. When our puzzle was in its jumbled state, to bring it back to this state, it got forged wrong. So this is something that we have to return back to a jumbled state to get out. We see this a lot in jumbling puzzles, and that's what's interesting about it. When you look at other jumbled puzzles like the curvy copter, we talk about orbits. And we talk about how as long as you don't jumble the puzzle, as long as you don't jumble it, they remain within their orbit. But if you jumble it and then bring it back, you could have jumbled it out of its right orbit. This is something like that. This is out of their orbit, so to speak. So we had various jumble maneuvers for that. For those who might not have a perspective on what I'm talking about, here's one of your classic jumbling puzzles. It's jumbling because you can turn it here, and then you can do moves that shape-shift it. But the thing about these kinds of puzzles is these pieces have orbits. This piece goes to here. This piece can go to here. So it has very predictable places on this puzzle it can go. This piece, for instance, will not go to here. Or this piece will not go to here, because they're never in the right orbit to do that. However, if I do a jumble maneuver, move this like so, then I can make it happen. So by jumbling, I can swap orbits like that. And it's not until I jumble it that I can bring it back. So I suspect this, unfortunately, is a jumbling problem. So how do I get this back? Well, even though it's a jumbling problem, I rather suspect that to get this back, I'd have to flip these two as well. But I don't know how I can flip these and flip these without doing some jumbling. So let's see if we can kind of make this work. Let's get ourselves into a jumbled position and rotate things around, where I'm going to probably have to flip these two and flip these two. What that also tells me is what I think is the top and the bottom, what seemed to work so well, isn't. It was actually right to begin with, but it was not fully recognized at that time. So to move these two, I'm going to have to move these two, which means I'm going to be, it's still upside down. So how am I going to do this? Well, let's bring this up to here, and let's bring this up to here. Nope, actually, let's not do that. Instead, let's swap these two pieces here. Let's go up, turn, and down. So I'm going to try to see if I can put moves to this. So I'm going to do R, Fi, R. Okay, so these two are swapped, which is what I want to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a low R, and then I'm going to do a high R. Boom. Okay, I'm doing that because I'm trying to swap these pieces at the same time. I want to get this to move, but I'm going to have to rev this engine, so to speak. I'm going to have to turn the key. Boom. So I've turned the key, and now this can move. I'm going to do something of a similar, because this is kind of in a edge position rather than a center position, so to speak. But I'm going to take this, and I'm going to do a Fi, and I'm going to move this down here. Then I'm going to do a 2L to here, and I want to get like pieces to like pieces. I'm going to take this, I'm going to do a 2 back over here, and then once again a 2L to here. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm going to take this and see if I can't flip this while flipping the other piece over here. So I'm going to move this up with an Fi to here, and I'm going to run into trouble moving this, so I got to turn the key. Boom. I'm going to turn the key here. So I'm kind of following this in my mind. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to move this down like so. But I'm going to want to get this whole side back, so I'm going to move this whole thing down to create a side. I'm going to bring this down like so. Now, predictably, if I move this back up, I'm going to be once again in this familiar situation, but I want to get these pieces back. So I'm going to move this up like thus. I'm going to double turn. I'm doing damage control basically. Double turn here. I'm going to take this, move this back up. I'm going to take this and move this back up over here. Okay, I'm now going to do another F move, which puts me back into the position that I originally had when I was flipped. What I'm then going to do is I'm now going to go up, or do an R, Fi, R to undo everything that I just did. And wow, okay, look what happened. I flipped it. These two flipped. Dark blue is now with dark green, light blue is now with light green, and the cost was flipping these two. But the parity was taken out. All these are fine, and all these are fine. Everything is in, including these little centers here, but these two are not. So now what it is, this is easy. This is just a top to bottom parity. So what I thought before was just a top to bottom parity. My mistake was I didn't try to get the other side in to see if that was the only parity that I had, because I could have flipped that and flipped the other two. But instead I assumed that that was the only kind of parity that I was going to get. So now I know how to take that jumbled parity out. So this is a top to bottom parity. These two were a jumbled parity. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Turning it upside down, I'm now going to reconstitute this side. This will go to here once again. So actually, let's do it this way. It'll be easier. This will go here, and this will shoot up to here. Let's see how fast I can do this. And let's see if this actually fixed it. Turn, 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 boom. Turn, turn, turn. Turn the key, down, bang. Okay, this is in. Next will be this. Same thing. Turn, 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 turn. Turn the key. Bang. splat, zoom. Turn the key back. We can see this is now in. Okay, the green one should not be hard to spot. It's right over here. How are we going to do it? We're going to move this side. This to here, and this to here. So let's go turn and turn. Turn this key over here. Okay, so by the way, there's no way to know about those parities if you just work out algorithms. You've got to actually do the puzzle and see what crops up. And bear in mind, anytime you have a jumbler, when you unjumble the puzzle, you may unjumble it in a parity position and have to figure that out. Okay, so now this is here. We know red is next. Where's red? It's right over here. That's a little far away. Nope, not really. I can go like turn, turn this over here. Turn, turn, turn. Pop it into here. Turn, turn, and turn. Nothing new with the algorithms. They're just showing me where to go. Oop. Am I lined up? Yeah, lined up. Okay. So now this red is in. Okay, where's the dark, deep dark red? It's right over here. So now this is going to come into here. Turn, turn, turn. Now we're ready to make short work of this, I think. Now, one of the reasons why I started videotaping these is what I just did to get that out. I don't know that I can remember it. It made sense as I was doing it, but I'm going to actually go over the video again to see what I did and maybe write down the algorithms. You might see me write it down in the description, but that's in case I ever want to come back to this puzzle, or if anybody else wants to buy this puzzle or needs some guidance, or if this, knock on wood, becomes mass-produced. Turn, turn, which it really should. This whole series of puzzles should be mass-produced. It's everything you want from a challenging, twisty puzzle. And the stability is so good, as you can see, that mainstream mass-produced companies would be foolish not to. Okay, so now we've got this. We quickly put this back in. Now let's see if we can get all these centers back in as well. So we've got our 3 cycles here. Bang, zoom, splat, clink. Oh, that was the wrong red. It's this one. I got fooled. Seems to be happening a lot with this puzzle. Turn, turn, and turn. Take my shape shifting out. Okay, good, good. Oh, good, good, and good. All right, so we got that back. Now let's look at this. Now this is what we wanted. This is what I was hoping for. Remember how I said hopefully there are 2 corners that are in and none of the rest are in, which is true, because now if I flip these two, these oranges will line up with this green will line up with this. So 2R, 2F, 2L, turn the key, 2R, 2F, 2L. And we're good. So at long last, I know the top from the bottom, and all of these are finally completely lined up. So we have this coordinated, and my hope is that all of the jumbling parity has been taken out.